Hey guys, Jacob with Jacob Comics. Alright, we have a really fun episode. Today we're going to be reviewing Avengers 61, Legacy number 761. And check this cover out. That's super awesome. Look at all these heroes. And now that I've read it, I know. And the Starbrand dinosaur. It's kind of a cool cover. And yeah, there's like a lot of heroes going on in this book. You can see why there's so many different heroes helping to fight Mephisto. All right, now before we get dived into the issue, I do want to let you guys know about the 500 subscriber giveaway. When we hit 500 subscribers, we'll be giving this book away. It's a Silver Cerberus #1, store exclusive. All you have to do is like the video, comment down below, and be subscribed to the channel. And when we hit 500 subscribers, we'll raffle the book off based on comments on the road to 500. All right, guys, let's get dived into Avengers 61. Now, as always, I do want to let you guys know we're going to be going heavy into spoilers, so if you don't want to be spoiled for Avengers 61, that's your warning. Next, we always have to shout out the creative team, because without a creative team, we wouldn't have the comic book, right, guys? So first up, we have the writer. Where's the writer on this one? I'm pretty sure that the writer is Jason Aaron. All right. And then we have colors by David Curiel, the letters by VC's Corey Pettit, and I don't know where their names are, but pretty sure it's here you go. And Ivan Fiorelli is doing the um, pencils and inks. All right, guys. Now there is a foreword, and I'll briefly read a little bit of it. Kind of says the demon Mephisto has been bedeviling the Avengers, traveling through time in an effort to unravel their history. The Avengers have embarked on their own journey through time, seeking to protect the very first Avengers in the prehistoric past. The Avengers' pursuit of Mephisto and his minion, the Iron Inquisitor, has thus far led them to various periods of history where they have been aided by their heroic predecessors. In the 1800s American West, the team caught up to Mephisto once more, and Starbrand attacked him directly as he teleported away to the next time period. And that's kind of where we pick up this story. We see Starbrand um, fighting with Mephisto, and she's kind of thinking, she's like, I don't spend a lot of time reading, mostly because it tends to involve sitting still. But the Celestials I live inside, sometimes it tells me things I think I ought to know. Did you know that once a dragonfly takes flight, it lives for about 4 months? Or that some bees live only a few weeks, time spent literally working themselves to death for the sake of the hive? Or how about the mayfly, which emerges from the water with a grand total of 24 hours in which to enjoy being alive? The mayfly doesn't even bother developing a mouth, since it won't live long enough to get to eat. A few weeks ago, I was sleeping in a crib. And so then it kind of goes back. It says earlier, goes back to her basically being told by Captain Marvel to stay at home, using your powers. They're not quite sure. It seems to damage you, right, and age you really fast. So just stay here while the Avengers go to take care of this threat, and then they all leave traveling through time. And so Starbrand kind of thinks, she's like, recently I decided to stop sleeping altogether. And there came a day unlike any other, when Earth's mightiest heroes found themselves united against a common threat. As we see a lot of the Avengers in the Viking Age in 1047 fighting Mephisto, right? And who shows up? But Starbrand shows up, and you'll see on this panel here, she takes Mephisto out with a super punch to the face, and he travels through time again. And then we are introduced to another group in 1924 Hong Kong, and that consists of another Ghost Rider and a different version of Iron Fist fighting and a fighting Mephisto. And again, she, shows up and kind of super punches him. And then she's like, "Can we go already?" And then they're teleported to, back to 66 million years ago. And they're thinking like, we are officially lost, right? And one of the Avengers says, "Lost within our Earth's timeline. We just overshot our target by a good 65 million years," right? So they are definitely lost. And then we get this kind of conversation on the side while Captain America, Thor, Iron Man, Captain Marvel are all debating what they should do. We get this conversation on the side where Starbrand is talking with Valkyrie, right? And it's kind of they're kind of talking about death and how long people live, and Valkyrie's like, I see death every day. And she says, "And do you know what that's taught me, Starbrand?" Starbrand replies that we're all a bunch of mayflies. And she says that nothing in all the realms or heavens is more precious than life. All the more precious because of how gloriously insignificant we might seem to be. Nothing is more fragile and yet resilient, more excruciating and beautiful all at once. She says, "I'm not afraid to die." And Valkyrie replies, "You make that abundantly clear. Now try not to now try not being afraid to live." So basically, if you're wondering how did, Starbrand end up with the heroes, she basically forces her way onto the team by time traveling herself to wherever they are and kind of catching up with them, right? Um, so then we do see that 66 million years ago, there's this crazy Tyrannosaurus Rex that comes up. And I'll show you the panel too, so you can kind of see, and kind of blasts Starbrand, right? That's the Tyrannosaurus Rex that's on the front cover. And it's revealed that it's like this old Starbrand dinosaur. She says, so I'll read some of this, and she goes, "Are you paying attention as we go tumbling through history? I'm seeing all sorts of Iron Fists and Ghost Riders and Black Panthers, but the Starbrands, we're a rare bunch because we're built to burn hot. We don't give a time, we don't have time to give a damn about." And at the same time, that's when the dinosaur comes and blasts her like that. She goes, "Ah, what are you trying to show me?" And so we see some of what the dinosaur shows her, and says, "The meteor that wiped out the dinosaurs. That's how the Starbrand first came to Earth. That's how this T Rex got his powers and became the planet's first protector. That's how. That's how he outlived everything he'd ever known. I'm lucky," he says, "because I have others like me. I have," as Cap comes in and says, "Avengers, time to head out," and looks at her and says, "Brandy." And she says, "Just a few more minutes, Cap. I mean, we've got a time machine, right? So what's our hurry?" As she kind of touches this giant Tyrannosaurus Rex Starbrand, first protector of Earth, and it says, "We share our thoughts through the brand. He wants to know what the world will become, what his sacrifice will help create. He wants to know what my people are like. It hurts my heart to tell him I have no idea, because I've never stopped to ask. Maybe I figured if I never knew the first thing about living, it'd be easier to die when the time came. But maybe dying should never be easy, especially not for people like me. Life isn't a gift. There's nobody who hands it to you. It has to be taken. Life has to be carved out of the chaos and nothingness. Life is one hell of a fight. It just helps to know what you're fighting for. It helps to know where to punch." As we see again, 1868 in the American West, kind of, they've wrapped up, being in her talking to this dinosaur, right? 66 million years ago. And so they've found Mephisto again, and this time she comes up and she just punches him, right? And she goes, a few weeks ago I was sleeping in a crib, but I don't sleep anymore. As she punches Mephisto, Mephisto says, "What are you doing?" And then he says, "Haha, yes, punch away, you fool. You know not what you do, child." As Starbrand punches him again and says, "Believe me, I know. I know what I was born to do. I am the Starbrand. That's the only name I ever had. My mother didn't live long enough to give me another. Not everyone gets to be around as long as Thor. Sometimes you're just a mayfly surrounded by gods, but my mother lived long enough to make a difference, to leave a mark. What more can anyone ask for? I love you, Mama." As we see multiple punches thrown and landed to Mephisto's face, as in the end, um, she's just gone, and so is Mephisto, right? And Iron Man comes in. He says, "What just happened? I was gunning it out with some cowboys," and then Cap says, "Where are we? What time period is this?" And then the guy I don't know in the looks like Batman in a purple outfit says, "Carbon readings show we're here, the Target era, the prehistoric Genesis point." And Captain Marvel says, "But how?" And Valkyrie says, "It was Starbrand. She went after Mephisto. She unleashed the full extent of her power." Captain Marvel says, "Oh no, where is she? Brandy." As we see some reverse paneling so you can't see her, she says, "It was easy. I just punched our way here." And they're shocked. You can see everyone's look of shock, but you don't see her. It's from behind with shadows. And she says, "But Mephisto, he's not finished." So I think you know what that means. What happens now? Avengers assemble. As we get this final page, and she's thinking, a few weeks ago I was sleeping in a crib. Now I'm here at the cradle of the world with the Earth's mightiest heroes, and one last chance to save all of reality. Feel like I've still got a couple good punches left in me. I plan on making them count. As we see, she's Starbrand, super aged up and super old now, right? But she's like ready to finish this battle with Mephisto. All right, guys. So that was Avengers 61. And yeah, I mean, if you guys have been following the channel, you know I actually haven't been picking this up. It was something, uh, we watch a lot of the other YouTube channels. I'll shout out the one actually that my son enjoys watching with me, and what who recommended this comic, or what the him talking about what happened spoiler free in the comic is what made my son be like, "I would read that." And I was like, "Really? All right, well, I'll get it if you'll read it." And he's like, "Okay." And so I picked it up because he said he would read it, and I figured, well, if he read it, why not? It's in the house. I can read it too. um, and yeah, it was actually really good. So shout out to them. uh, put the links below. They do a lot of early reviews, guys, so it's even earlier than mine. I know they're a comic shop though, so they get the books before I can get them. But yeah, so it's Infinity Flux Comics. I'll put a link below. Just a channel that me and my son enjoy watching. That recommended this, and they were talking about Starbrand, and that it was kind of mainly about Starbrand, and that's actually why my son was interested in it. He was like, "Oh, Starbrand! I want to hear more about the Starbrand. I've heard some cool things about that." Um, and so we picked it up, and hey, as here we are now. I actually really enjoyed this, and I'm kind of sad. I guess I haven't been picking up Avengers. It looks like it's been a bunch of fun. I've had a lot of people saying it was, and you know, money sometimes, but it was a light week. Maybe it'll keep falling on this what is it, the third week, right? Third week of the month. If it keeps falling on this third week with the same titles that I got, I can definitely pick it up. So it was really fun issue. I give Avengers 61 a thumbs up. Honestly, you know that I didn't know a thing about Starbrand. I think my son knew more about Starbrand than I did when I got the book. But I think she's super cool. That was a very obviously I didn't read everything, so buy the issue yourself if this sounds interesting. There is it does go a lot more in depth into Starbrand throughout the issue. So it's super entertaining if you're curious about the Starbrand character. Yeah, I don't know. That's what I have today, guys. Avengers 61 gets a thumbs up. I enjoyed it. The artwork's really fun too by Fiorelli and Curiel. It's a lot of characters that they're drawing, and I felt a good flow. I like the paneling layouts. It was just a really fun book. All right, guys, that's what I have. We'll see you tomorrow, and have a great day.